Hello, everybody. I'm back. Welcome to. I haven't done a movie review in a long time, so hey, I'm gonna do a short one here this time around for the movie Creed. I just watched Creed. I know I'm a little late on that, whatever. Um, but of course, I just got done watching it. I'm gonna talk about it while it's still fresh in my head right now. First off, if you guys don't know the history of Creed, it starts off way back with Rocky. Rocky Balboa. Rocky, of course, was a film that starred Sylvester Stallone back in the 70s and throughout the 80s. His first fight was against, of course, Rocky, and it was Rocky versus Creed, Apollo Creed, who Creed is semi about a little bit. It's actually about his son, a son who came out of an affair. Actually, he had out of an affair. Uh, Rocky was, of course, is also famously trained by not only Mickey, but as soon as Mickey died, trained by Creed himself, Apollo Creed himself, and Apollo, of course, sadly died in the films. They killed him off completely. So Apollo Creed, and it was a very sad moment. So now Creed kind of picks up a couple years. Actually, picks up in 1998, where we meet his son and his wife from his marriage, his widow, and they grow close together and have a relationship, of course, and that leads up to Adonis, who is the main character of Creed, wanting to kind of be like his father a little bit. He's kind of living in his father's shadow, which we can kind of see throughout the movie. But he wants to kind of just make it on his own. He wants to do boxing. He wants to kind of be, like his father a little bit, but he doesn't want to be his father. He wants to do the same thing. He's stuck, like at the beginning of the movie, he's stuck at a job. It's a good paying job. It's a high, he just got promotion from it, and he quits. He quits it, and he does something that most of us are afraid to do. He goes after his dream. He can afford to at that point, so that's what he did. He handed his resignation, went for his dream, went to Philadelphia, and of course met Rocky at Rocky's restaurant, which I'm glad they kind of kept that from the last movie. They didn't retcon this movie too much. They didn't really like mess with the history of it. Sadly, some characters from the Rocky movies, of course, have passed. Like in Rocky Balboa, Adrian's gone. Paulie, of course, his best friend, throughout his life, is gone. Has passed away, and Rocky's the only one left, pretty much. His son's moved away. He says, like, they explain a lot of all that. So, yeah. Rocky, of course, meets Apollo Creed's son Adonis, and Adonis is just chomping at the, just wanting to train with Rocky pretty much. And he goes to a gym every day and just trains, and he boxes and boxes and he boxes and stuff. Just training on his own until Rocky kind of just comes in, and Rocky sees how he sees his father in him just a little bit, and I think Rocky kind of felt like he owed Apollo a little bit for this. So he trains him, I don't really want to go too much, but I mean, basically the whole movie is about Rocky, is about Creed's son, Apollo Creed's son, trying to do what Rocky did, which was in the first movie, reach the distance. He, of course, he wants to win. He wants to win. He wants to win the title match. He has his own Apollo Creed, his own little thing, and like there's a little bit of stuff in it that's kind of mirrors the old Rocky movies a little bit by keeping the tradition. Um, and it was great. There's even like, and this is not a major spoiler, but at some point in the movie they go up and where Rocky ran, like like Adonis has his own little Rocky running moment and stuff, and a little chant moment like and whatnot. But Rocky and him at some point during the movie go up to where Rocky, of course, ran too famously in the movies. And there's just a moment to where like Rocky is just like, I can't even go up these stairs anymore, man. And it's like I'm old. So yeah, uh it was definitely a bittersweet movie, Creed. So if you get a chance, what I would do is, it's like as soon as you go to the theaters, go watch it. Pretty much, I guess at this point, it's still in theaters, I think. If you're not watching Star Wars at this point, which is another thing I kind of want to talk about. So if you haven't seen Star Wars yet, don't get all snippy and whatnot. But I'm just gonna tell you, Star Wars was awesome. Okay, it kind of made me feel like I was a 12-year-old again, which was a good thing, I guess. And there was a couple moments in it where I was just leaning forward, and just like ignoring everybody around me, and just like, oh my god. Of course, that the main storyline, of course, which is something that they really didn't give out too much. So if you don't want to know the main storyline, close your ears, shut it off, get out here. I don't want to hear anybody bitching about it. Main storyline to, you know, The Force Awakens is basically they're looking for Luke Skywalker. He's basically exiled himself after losing a Jedi pupil, Padawan, I guess they would call him, to the dark side a little bit, and he went to go try to find the remnants of the old Jedi temple, like the very first one. So JD did a pretty good job, I feel like, with picking up the slack and stuff. It definitely kind of sort of erases the prequel movies without actually erasing the prequel movies. So yes, Jar Jar still exists in there, people. Uh, Also, he made it like it was very pacing, like it was very like it kept a steady pace as the movie went on. It was great seeing Harrison Ford. It was great seeing Chewbacca, Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill. And then, of course, there's some actually pretty cool cameos in it, too. Like a lot of people don't know, Simon Pegg was in it. His wasn't more of a cameo in it. Like I said, if you're watching this close and you don't want to know spoilers about Force Awakens, then I talked about Creed just a minute ago. But I'm trying to think. I think they said, Daniel Craig was in the movie, of course, as a stormtrooper, which was weird. James Bond was in Star Wars. Um, of course, Frank Oz, who's famously the voice of Yoda, and Ewan McGregor, Ewing McGregor. I can't say his last name. Obi-Wan Kenobi was in it too, so made a vocal, you know, cameo, but still. So Creed and Star Wars, guys. Those are my last two. Those are my two movie picks for the end of the year right now. I still haven't seen Hateful Eight yet because it just kind of came out, so I still want to see that. So as soon as that comes out, I will let you guys know. Until then, auf Wiedersehen, goodbye, ciao.